conversation. Everyday motivation.
Hey y'all, what's goody? This is the A and B conversation. I'm the A, Amber.
I'm the B, Brittany.
So see you away. And I just like to first start off by saying I got my nails back. Thank you.
Yes. They
The
look
bad
good.
bitch has returned. Wow, I'm back to talking with my hands, clicking. Let me give you a little ASMR. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
I didn't realize how.
Tapping it on the Armani lipstick.
Ooh, and she's fancy. I didn't realize how much I'd love that. Like now that I've grown my nails out, like half an inch. I didn't realize how much I'd love that. I really love that when I'm typing math fast. I'm like, I miss being an acrylic bitch. I mean, I don't do acrylic, but I used to be an acrylic
those
bitch.
are bad for your nails. Don't do those.
I know. It's so funny. I remember like every week or every other week, but mostly every week, I would get up, go to Gloria. She blow dry my shit, have the doobie wrap with the pins, and then walk down the block, get my acrylic, like go to Hunts Point Fish Street, buy a fit, like
Harlem's finest.
Harlem's finest.
She is an uptown girl, okay?
Drop Billy Joel, like please. I can't even believe. I think about that a lot, honestly, more than I probably need to. Like, wow, I was really that girl. And then clocking at Dunkin' Donuts. After I get out of school.
Perfect.
We're back.
Please don't clock in anywhere else. Actually, let's clock in, Brittany.
Let's clock in.
We're
doing a retail episode. So let's clock in. She's 10 minutes late.
Yeah. I was always late. Retail, I could start right here with retail. One of my last retail jobs I had was at Bare Minerals. We've talked about this. We realized that we worked next door to each other. We have absolutely interacted with each other.
Dude, we definitely took the train together and didn't know it.
Because when I was telling you about Lorraine, my beauty teacher, who was my manager, you were like, wait. And then as I described her more, you were like, wait. She was from Harlem. She was cool as fuck. She worked next door, right? I would go in there and fuck with her. And I was like, bitch, I was in there. I was like probably 2 steps behind Lorraine.
That's so crazy. She definitely put me on a complexion rescue.
Listen, Bare Minerals had some things. I worked in the illustrious shade store. It was Bare Minerals' one and only concept store. It did not last long.
No, it didn't. Actually, I walked down that block and I'm surprised NARS is still standing.
NARS is gonna NARS though.
No, NARS is gonna NARS. They definitely did a lot of. They cut a lot of things, but they ain't cut that store yet.
They're like, we gotta stay here.
It's interesting. This NARS even, like I'll be forgetting that I worked there sometimes until we had that Bare Minerals moment. And I'm like, yo, I got to NARS straight after I left MAC. And I appreciate them both because I hated and I appreciated them until I got to a certain point, right? Because I remember when I went on my interview for NARS, because we opened that print store.
Yeah.
And they only had that one bleaker store, right? So I went in there and did an interview with a girl who I used to work with at MAC, my friend Cindy. But I didn't know her like that yet at the time, like cool enough.
Yes, Cindy Rodriguez.
And I remember she was like, okay, can you just take like a 187 and like just blend it all out? Mind you, I was one of the natural of the MAC girls. Like, obviously, I still put that shit on, but I was more tamed. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was embarrassed. I was like, is NARS really like on that? Like, I remember just like it, but I appreciated it because it did make me realize, okay, featherweight hand, bitch.
Yeah, going from NARS to MAC, I could see that because, I mean, obviously, if you're here, if you're listening, well, no, let's just assume you don't know. The different brands got the different aesthetics, right? So, like, a MAC, we know what MAC gives. We especially know what MAC gives back when we were doing retail. I haven't done retail. I cut those cords in 2013 or 2014.
Oh my God, same.
Yeah. My last. Was it? Wait, yeah, I think 2014. That's when I worked at the Shade store because that was my last retail thing. I ended up quitting there because I was starting to get more work, obviously.
Abby.
And one of my managers, not Lorraine, my homegirl, we had another manager. That's crazy. I can't even remember Shorty name. Shorty. She was way older than me. But anyway, she had a hater spirit. And she did not like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, your girl was making waves outside of the like that. I wasn't trying to be a career retail person, because there are
Correct.
career retail people, there are salespeople, you know, no shade to them. And then there are
No,
like
no shade.
artists that are just like working retail to make $1 or $2.
Oh, those people are very clearly delineated too.
Very clearly.
The salespeople are not the people that you get your makeup done from. But the people that aren't good salespeople are the ones you get your makeup done from. And you'll still likely buy because they're a good artist, but they didn't sell you that shit. Like they'd be like, sure. I used to be like, I don't care if you buy that shit. I don't care.
My last retail job was at Bare Minerals. But I started at Estee Lauder, which has like, and back when I started, 2010, 11, when I started doing retail makeup, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I mean, y'all know what 2010, it gave full contour Kardashian.
Yes.
Mac was thriving.
It gave
Mac
Louis
didn't
Vuitton
hire me.
platform.
Yeah, Mac did not hire me.
I
You
can't
know
even
what I'm
believe it. I
It's
still can't
fine.
believe
In
that.
retrospect, it's fine. I was never a Mac girl. It probably would have never worked out.
You would
Seeing
have been a
how
Mac
I
girl at a
had to
certain
put
store.
on 92 pounds of 92 different products at Mac.
Yes.
To be
Go
on
like
the
me,
floor.
187, need to blend that bitch out. Like, I'm traumatized by that still. But go ahead. Like, bitch, I'm the most blended motherfucker in Mac. Y'all got me fucked up.
She's like, yeah, in Mac.
Exactly. That was exactly how. And Cindy's a Sag like you, and she basically gave it to me just like that. Like, this is not Mac, babe. Like, and I'm like, you're right. I'm in here with a Xingyang. Nigga, what are you talking about? Like, I know it's not Mac.
You had to have the Xingyang at NARS, bro. I just found out. Brittany just told me that. Did you wait? No, he French.
Yeah, he French. Francois.
Francois. Yeah. You just told me something though that I was like, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. That was just aesthetic. Oh, I think like I always thought he was like an old French man, and he's like,
oh yeah, no, that nigga is a city girl. He be having the transitional shades, like skin snatched, like he owns a fucking island in Tahiti. Like, yeah, that nigga's a city girl. Like, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was shocked. But working at Estee Lauder, I had to. Well, honestly, I don't know what Estee Lauder does now, to be quite honest. But that's
Right.
just because you know what I'm saying? I really only know the girls who send me things and the girls that are like loud and everywhere, you know?
For sure.
I used to love Estee Lauder though. But when I first worked there, they were all about skincare.
Yep.
Which is why I believe I am all about skincare. Like, I definitely know that that's where it started.
Totally.
One of the places it started, my first retail job ever in life. My first job, actually, that I got on my own was working at a makeup kiosk in a local mall that I could walk to from my house.
Mall girl. Speaking of which, mall girl makeup right here. Big silver mature eyeshadow right there. Go ahead. Continue.
Pewter. Silver.
You know that pewter? It's like not quite silver, but it's not quite purple. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm wearing right now. Go ahead.
Pewter as fuck.
Yeah. This was the theme. I was like, oh, retail, let's retail it up.
Hello, I got on a retail shirt. You can't see. Wait.
I love it. Yeah, let's see.
Go to bed without me. That is from when Estee Lauder started getting spicy.
Ooh, I see that.
That's when Estee Lauder was, when they became available at Sephora. This was the shirts that we got to wear. Because A&R, Advanced Night Repair. Okay, this is not sponsored. This is not an ad, but it could be.
It's not an ad. Also, they used to push all the brown spokesmodels for that because they didn't have the colors. But that's another conversation.
For A&R? No, this was a serum.
No, I know. I was trying to say that. Yes, I know. So whenever there was a spokesmodel for Estee Lauder, that was their product to push because it was colorless.
Oh, no. I don't think that's the case.
No, later. I'm saying later on, that was like the models that I would work. Yes, bitch. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we love Estee, so I'm not going to drag them right now.
A&R was, well, shit, that's all they cared about.
Like, that is all they cared about, those skincare.
Training things, like.
Also,
everything went after that. So I just assumed that if we paying the girls, well, we gonna pay them with what's making us the money. We gonna put that in that.
Well, you know, another thing why everybody be trampling over each other to be an Estee Lauder model is that there's so much longevity in it because, like you said, they focus so much on skincare. So when you're young, you can push the makeup, and then the more mature you get, you push the skincare. So when you get those types of contracts, it's likely not just like a 2 or 3 year bid. It's like, as long as they like you, it's as long as they, you know what I mean? They'll extend it basically.
Absolutely.
So when you
I remember when they like switched over from like, you know what I'm saying? Because when I first got there, the models weren't even recognizable people. Like they were not
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
they weren't like the celebrity models. I remember when they picked up Joan Smalls and it was like,
Mm-hmm. I remember my
like the
friend was
girls were
integral in
freaking
that.
out. Yeah,
My friend
like,
Kyle, he did
oh
that.
shit, Joe.
Shout out to Kyle, you did that. My bitch had millions of dollars. Go ahead, sorry.
Rat.
No,
You
love
are
that.
such a bird.
I love that for all of them. I remember that story. I was like,
But yeah,
yes,
like
Kyle.
when I had her and damn, who else? I think they had Suge Mooj at one point.
Uh-huh.
Like when they started getting like the young, fun, cool girls, and they started like, I'll never forget when I was like, "Is this a colored eyeliner?"
Wait, is this Urban Decay?
Y'all girls is getting spicy. This green is like emerald. Like, hold on, it's getting fun up in here. Like, because before I was just walking around like, child.
You're like pewter and
Y'all, I
brown.
really don't wear foundation, and y'all trying to make me wear double wear, and I don't want to.
Oof. Right.
Double wear get a bitch together though. I will not hold you.
will.
That double wear will, and it don't move. Double wear.
Even if you
Have
use it
you
as
ever
concealer.
tried? Oh, and well, you know they got the double wear concealer too.
I know, but I never used it. I only
Oh, that's
used the
all I-
foundation.
I
Which
use-
one you think is better? Do you care?
I mean, I don't. At this point, I wouldn't know, but I used to. I was swore by the concealer. The foundation was cute, but you know I'm a concealer girl. So
That's true. That's true.
And then I started liking double wear light because they came out with a lighter version.
Oh.
I don't know if
I
that's
wish I
still a thing, but
remembered.
they had a lighter version. And then double wear maximum coverage. That shit will cover up a tattoo in one dot.
Stop.
Okay.
Really? That's
And
kind
it's
of impressive.
waterproof. And it's water. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. And like,
Crazy.
and I don't know about the girls with the deeper shades because Estee Lauder was one of the first counter brands. Since I worked at the counter, like I would play, they went deeper than damn near most of the beauty counter outside of MAC. Well,
Well, of course, and they probably also, you know, as they own MAC, at
Right,
first.
yes, true,
and
true,
then
true,
and,
true,
and
true.
then La Mer, so their skincare became good. But the only thing I will
La
say
Mer
is
skincare is fluff, bro. Don't believe the
it
fucking
is fluff.
hype.
It's Pond's cream.
It is.
Just
You heard it here first from a real life
heard it.
esthetician.
bruh, it is
Save your money.
Save your money. Unless they send that to you for free, go crazy. But
Otherwise, save it. Because when I know, you know, like girls, they be like, "Oh yeah, I used La Mer." I'm like, "Oh,
yes,
okay.
they
Sure,
sent me some.
So you wasted your money.
Right. Oh my God, you're broke. Okay.
God, you broke and your skin still dry. Love that for you.
That
Okay.
part. No, I literally, it's so funny you said that. They had sent me some stuff and I just packed it because it's like, what the fuck I care, right? So I packed it. Also because Jesse says he wanted to use it. So I brought it. And this other girl I had before him, she was like, oh, you pulled out the big guns for me. I'm like, bitch, Dr. Barbara Sturm was the big gun and you didn't give a fuck about that. Like, this is not the big gun. This is
Dr.
the pistol.
Barbara Sturm is definitely the big gun.
She's the big gun. And she's like the doctor for all of the biggest top celebrity
She's a real
black
doctor.
women. Huh?
She's a real doctor.
No, she's like a real ass derm.
Fun fact.
Let's hear it.
I used to work with Barbara Sturm and I used to do I did like all of her like early campaign stuff, like all of her like early like photos. I would do her makeup before like when I moved to LA, I had to fly back to New York like 2 days after I moved here because she was doing like her first like campaign type shoot.
Stop it. Oh my God,
But
is
I
she
used
nice?
to stay dripped up and draped down in fucking Barbara Sturm. I mean,
The things I could learn from her.
I got an amazing facial. If you can ever get into, if you're feeling spicy, get this facial. She has a location in New York, Miami, and LA. That's all I know for the US. I know she has some outside of the country too, but that facial that I got here was amazing. And her lead esthetician is a black woman named Kimmy.
Oh, 100. girl, let me say something. If you like Angela Bassett skin and Jada Pinkett, guess who's
Yep.
responsible for that? Dr. Barbara Sturm. So
Yep.
yeah.
Dr. Barbara
And
Sturm
she created a line
with Angela Bassett.
with Angela
She
Bassett
created
for
that
darker
with her.
skin tones.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, did you know that she created that like with her, like for her,
Yep.
for that?
Yes.
But yes, we've spiraled. We're
Obsessed.
talking about
No, we spiral. But oh my gosh, I'm
but
obsessed with her. Really, I am.
no, but yeah, Estee Lauder, right? All they cared about was cream. All I cared about was cream. Full, full like skincare routine. Oh, to go back to my first retail job ever. It was all black owned brands. It was Iman actually, and this brand called Floyd Roberts, which like if I say that, like I'll tell that there's like a peer range of women, like at this point probably like 45 and up. If I'm like Floyd Roberts, they like, oh, okay, like they know what the fuck I'm talking
Oh,
about. That shit was fire. That's why I
damn.
had a full blown skincare routine at 16. I think I've said that before. That's why, because I worked at a place that prioritized skincare, and I got the job was commission only
Oof,
at a
like the
kiosk.
breast milk place I was at. Yeah, sorry. Speaking of skincare, go ahead. Sorry.
Wow, why they always scamming niggas like that? But anyway,
Nigga.
it was that only, but like we would get like free products. You know what I'm saying?
Of
So
course, right. Also, they be wanting you to like use it to fake,
to
like
use it, yeah, so you can like whatever. So what I had
Yeah.
exfoliate. I was exfoliate, like I was doing the whole shit at 16, 17.
I gag. Well, sometimes I forget this, but I actually started at Sephora.
Yeah.
Like I met Amra at Sephora, and I be forgetting that because we did both eventually work at Mac together. Like, so I just be forgetting. But yeah, no, I will say that the journey of retail makeup that I've been on, it's been quite an interesting one because Sephora, I got to like play and be crazy, but I felt like, I mean, especially even then,
Wow, that was like early Sephora too, right? Well, like when Sephora was first like popping off.
Yeah,
Because if
definitely.
you Google Sephora, they've been around since like the 60s.
I know, and apparently their business model was getting a lot of pushback because it was like, man, you're like touching shit and whatever, allegedly. But when I started working there, yeah, I got crazy and I don't think it dawned on me the opportunity that I was given to play with all the brands. Like I enjoyed it, but I do feel like I wanted to go to Mac because I felt like I needed structure. Like I know it sounds silly, but I feel like they cared about
because
artistry.
In Sephora, they're just like rolling around. Like there is no, no shade. Like Sephora is not like a counter. You know what I'm saying? Like the environment is different. Like at a makeup counter or like a Mac or like someplace like that. Well, when we were working retail, now who knows what the fuck. But when we were working retail, that like. Even it like you were saying, they were salespeople and then they were artists, but they mixed us all in and they tried to confuse the consumer and make it feel like we were all artists.
Correct.
Whereas at Sephora, they actually do have a bunch of artists that work there, but unless somebody's like booking an appointment or something like that, you're standing on the floor shuffling makeup around.
Correct.
Like you're not
correct.
No one's really actually coming up to you and being like, so,
and what I will
teach
say
me how
too,
to do my eyes, you know?
Right. And I think to piggyback off of that, the illusion of Sephora is that there's skincare experts, there's makeup experts, But the truth is, it's because there are still so many brands to learn. Like theoretically, like I only gravitated to the brands that I felt comfortable with. So you're not really, and because they don't work on commission or anything, at least then, there was no pressure to learn the brands that I didn't want to learn. So I'm like, oh, they got this. Oh, they got that. Oh, they got the brown girls. Oh, so I was like a Make It Forever girl. I was a fucking Benefit girl for like a period of time. And then I don't know, it kind of got a little, I was only for the brows, but then I fell off. I don't know what I hated about it because then like I told you, when they sent us that stuff, I was like, oh, bitch, this is my new shit. Forgot all about y'all. My bad.
Sometimes that happens though. Also, sometimes it just happens. There's so many brands and so many things always happening that it's so easy to be like, wait, why did I stop? Why did I stop you?
So, but I feel like Mac at that time, it was also like the brand that like took artistry seriously, you know? So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm just dilly dallying with these bitches at Sephora. Like they not. It's just I got on a fucking smock. I don't know what's happening. Like I can't pick my clothes. Like I feel like I'm in elementary school. I gotta go. So when I started at Mac, I mean, I still wanted the freedom. So I was always a freelancer at Mac. Always. I worked there for like 2 years, and I was always
a freelancer. I was a freelancer, everywhere. The only place I worked was what? Why can't I get Bare Mineral? When I worked at the Shade Store, I worked at Bare Minerals part time, and even that was like
a lot.
Too much. Yeah,
it's an obligation. I was part time at NARS, which part time is fake. Part time is just that we don't want to pay you insurance, but like you might get full time hours, and you know what I'm saying? Like we choose against
for
that.
For the most part, Bare Minerals was not given. They were giving. It was given part time.
It was given part time. So I say that to say that at Mac, I wanted to be taken seriously as an artist. And I knew that they were like the number one brand backstage for the most part at the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they would do, even when you're a freelancer, they didn't do it too much later, but you're on the floor and you get to rotate with all the funny thing about, put a pin in that. The funny thing about Mac though is like how you were saying that every brand got its own aesthetic. Every Mac store had its own aesthetic. Like the Bleecker store was for the mature bitches, like the clean girls. The Times Square store was for the crazy girls, like they just want we beating it down. We outside after this. We close at midnight. So like you know what I mean? Like
right,
every store had its own aesthetic anyway. But also, so like we would it was a lot of camaraderie at Mac. I will say that I had differently at Sephora. And I have to say though, like my tightest relationships with people was when I was at NARS. Like tight, nigga. Like those, like I still to this day, we'd be like, we hated working there, but we all loved each other. That we text each other and we'd be like,
do I still talk to him?
You're like, can't relate.
Me and Lorraine, she just found me back on Instagram. But I hadn't talked to her in years. But I think that's it. Ooh, if we're friends and I'm forgetting about you and we worked in retail together, that's why we friends. Whoops.
Right, because the retail experience is out of my mind. Yeah.
But also like not whoops, because that means that I'm not putting you with that experience. I'm just like, oh, that's my friend.
Totally. No, I definitely. Yeah, you sure did, bitch. That was a Sagittarius. If I haven't met one. Also, I forgot to mention my last job, I guess retail. But by that point, I was already like a working makeup artist. I just was lazy and I was pregnant. So one of my good friends was the director at the beauty counter or at the flagship store Chanel. So nigga, I literally used to go up in there and do everybody's makeup that worked there. Cause I was the only like real makeup artist, like, you know what I'm saying? All them other bitches was out here putting dust on people's eyes, whatever the fuck Chanel was selling at the time.
Dust.
And then I was pregnant, so I just chill. I literally used to just chill. Like anytime I knew, I would just use it as like passive income to just buy stupid shit with. Cause I'd be like, well, Katie, I can't come today, or Katie, I can come tomorrow, or like whatever. That was the best job. But anyway. I'm going off on a tangent.
My last retail job was actually, ironically, at Sephora. Not literally. I was another fun fact, I guess, for the people that will go into Sephora is not all people in Sephora work for Sephora, right? Like,
right.
I was a brand rep. I was a brand rep for YSL and Armani. Yeah. Oh, ironic. Oh my God. Look at me.
Armani with you.
Retail mommy.
Why? Armani is one of the few brands I have very little experience with.
I have very little experience until I was a brand rep. But but also when you like as a brand rep, that you're really still, I would just have to go to stores and stand around and like straighten up the gondola, like straighten up the shit, make sure it wasn't dirty, and answer questions of people, like ask them. Really, it's just somebody, you know how some brand sections are fucking disgusting and some are always kept up. Right. Some of these brands got brand reps that they keep in Sephora that go in there and
you are a celebrity. When you work at Sephora and the brand rep comes in, all you're doing is trying to sell yourself to the brand rep so you can work for the brand. You're like, oh my God, the Tarte guy is here. Come on, guys, let's go. You were a walking celebrity.
That
You
is
did whatever the fuck
hilarious.
you wanted to do
Yeah, I
on
did
the
do whatever the
floor.
fuck I wanted to do.
Girl,
I would just leave sometimes. Be like, I'll be
I don't
back.
blame you.
I'll be back. How many times do you expect me to walk around fucking Sephora, babe? How many times? How many
How
times?
many
And it
fake
was like at
swatches
that
am I gonna
point
do?
where they didn't have that many luxury brands. So the luxury section was hella small and
Yeah.
bitches weren't coming over there like that. So it was like, no.
No.
The most excitement I would get was when I would have to work at Union Square, which
That's
like
where I
also I
worked.
had to be a fucking brand
Oh.
rep for a little while before I could like, you know, work
Yeah, of
up to
course.
like Union Square, blah blah blah.
That's so
But
funny because that's where I worked. Still, we missed each other.
yes, correct. We did. We were probably in there at the same time. Like I was the girl walking around uninterested. Actually, in Sephora, I was just like, it was more fun than working at like the Estee Lauder counter because, well, one at a counter, I was stuck.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't stuck at the counter because Estee Lauder did this thing called canvassing or whatever the fuck they call it. It wasn't called canvassing. That's actually what it is. But they would have you go around, take your little flyers and walk around the store and try to bring people back to get makeovers, which is
Oh.
stupid, right? And you know what? It's crazy. The fact that as an actual consumer who has been in stores with Estee Lauder counters, you don't even know that because apparently everybody was doing what I was doing, which was taking my stack of flyers, wrapping them in tissue, throwing them away, and walking around the store.
Yo, the things you don't
I
know.
would either go just like hide in the bathroom for like an hour, like chill, or when I started working at Bloomingdale's on 59th, I was like, oh, this is a wrap. I would dead ass.
Oh yeah, missing in action, crazy.
I'm like
Like
walking around. I'm upstairs at 40 carats enjoying a little froyo. You know what I'm saying?
the fact that we have definitely been 1 degree away from each other is blowing my mind.
Yeah, I would do all the things. Then I would just like walk out and be like, I'm gonna go to Urban Outfitters and see what's like. Be outside, like just outside in the winter with no coat on because I just snuck out the store. Like I'm gonna get some Magnolia and then I'm gonna go to Urban because that way, like, I will roam around the store. But then I thought about it and was like, but somebody that works with me could see me not doing anything. If I leave,
Right.
you don't know where I'm at when I just pop back up and I'm like, oh my gosh, a few women said they might come back.
Stop it. I can't.
Close. I was outside smoking a cigarette because I smoked cigarettes when I lived in New York.
No, I'm upset right now. Like I definitely worked at Mac 59th Street Bloomingdale's. Me and my friend Nadia, who is Bella Hadid's makeup artist.
That is hilarious.
Like I'm blown right now.
That I was definitely there, girl.
Allah knew not to put us together in New York. Maybe that's what it is. He's like, y'all bitches is trouble. No thanks.
I think so.
It had to be.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. But no, I mean, what I will say though, every once in a while, I do miss like 2 things I do miss about retail. I miss playing with the makeup undivided 8 hours of time. Like, because you get a PR package. I mean, this sounds like a first world professional problem. Like, because right, you always get to there was times when we couldn't wait to get to that point where we get free makeup, and now we get it, and I'm like, ugh, right?
Now I get it, and I'm like, girl, where am I supposed to put this shit? Let me take it in the closet. Well, wait, PR companies, but that's not what we saying. We love.
Oh no, yeah,
shit.
send that. You're right.
Keep sending it. We love it. We love to play with it.
We do.
Just some of it that comes is a little more appealing to play with than other things. And also, I'm gonna let Brittany go back to her point. And also, after playing in makeup all day, if I get a PR package and I just came from work, I don't care what's.
Oh, same. I can't even
open it.
Can't open it. I really can't. I let Gigi open it. I be like, hey, I'm gonna swipe this open, and whatever I see you pick up, I know that that's too bright of a color for me, so I'm gonna take the rest of it. She'd be like, ooh, pink. I'd be like, yes, get that. Let me get that brown underneath it though. Pass that. But right, exactly though, right? Like, so like, even when you're at work, you're not gonna you're not gonna pack your bag or bring another bag, even if you have a little downtime to play with it. Like, no, like you're not. But like when you're at work and some new shit about to finna be coming out, you'd be like, oh, well, I could play with this. I could put this on you. We'd be bored. I could play makeup on your friend, like shit like that. So I miss being able to experience new products with undivided time. Attention to it. Yeah. And then the other thing is I really do sometimes miss the camaraderie. Like I do miss, because we had our own community where like, yes, every job is probably catty. Like I'm sure corporate jobs are catty, but like y'all niggas is catty about the coffee machine not being clean. Like at least we being catty or like friendly competition. Like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like something still in the world.
Shit definitely was like catty and stupid. Like, but
for sure.
From what I would pop in and see, because like I think that your time at Mac,
she wasn't out smoking a cigarette eating magnolias.
When I would pop in and engage, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Yeah, I do feel like the Mac world is like its own world, right?
Yeah,
like
it's a clique. It's a clique.
Yeah, it's a clique. Like no matter if you're freelance, part-time, like no matter what, like y'all is all like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Fair.
Me being at Estee Lauder, I was able to dip in and out, you know, boop, 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 boop. And then like and if it got like too like, ooh, I know too much of y'all drama, like I'm at this counter too much, I would be like, they'd be like, could you go here? And I'd be like, no, not yet. Not yet. I was the most consistent at Bloomingdale's on 59th.
Well, Bloomingdale's is always catty though.
Yeah, it is.
Like no matter who you work for. Yeah, it was. I remember having like the most dramatic experiences at Bloomingdale's Soho. Like
Soho. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, both of them, because 59th the flagship, and those girls be acting like this is the first Estee Lauder counter ever erected. Estee Lauder personally built this counter.
Period. Oh my God. I remember one time at Mac 50, was it 59th? 59th. Me and Rob had a very specific 1 year break. And I was dating this guy and his ex-girlfriend worked there. And I was talking shit about something, right? Like to a friend of mine, because I didn't know who she was. And then I saw that there was some girl that was being weird around me. And I was just like, oh, maybe it's her. And I was telling my friend what this dude used to say about her. Nigga, how about like her friend or somebody was hiding behind the drapes, like listening to everything I said? I was like, what is this, Hamlet? Like, what are you doing? Reveal yourself.
Behind the drapes.
Like, cause I can't explain it, but do you remember the dressing room upstairs? It was like a curtain, like the tables, and then people got dressed with the lockers back there. And I was just like, I'm sorry, this is really.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, in Soho. Oh, you never did. You did.
No, 59. I never did. Yeah, I never did Soho.
I'm sorry, Soho. Yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry, it was Soho. But anyway, I was just like, this is.
Go to Soho for what though? It wasn't. Oh, I think I like once I went to Soho for Estee Lauder, but you know, certain counters, of course, high volume or whatever like that, like as a freelancer, you know, you had to earn the right to go to certain counters, and I think I earned the right to go to Soho once, and I was like, I don't actually want to come back here. It's fucking hectic here, and y'all tight. Really, it's so small, it's packed with people. Yep. This makeup section is fucked up. Like they would be like, could you go canvas? And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Get me the fuck out of this little tiny corridor.
Send me the whole passes, bitch. I'm out.
People were just yelling like, no, thank you. Yeah.
No, it's a zoo. You remember in Mean Girls when they had all the people in the mall acting like they was animals? That's how I feel like Bloomingdale Soho is.
Oh my God, literally.
No, it was a hot mess. But you know, anyway, outside of that, like you're right, like Mac is a clique. It is a clique. Yeah. 100%. Once you know every colorway, everything. Like we used to do coffee orders, and they'd be like, okay, how you like your coffee? I'd be like NC45. This person, like, that's how we would. Like it literally was a clique. Because then when we went to NARS, because a lot of some of my Mac friends, we all went over to NARS together, and it really was a learning curve for us, but. You know, because everything's a fucking name of a place he's been, you know, Carmen San Diego shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yes, you've been to the Maldives. Yeah. We are well aware. But when we got there, I mean, the learning curve was that we had been taught these strict, well, on the one end, we'd been taught strict ways to do things, right, at Mac. But on the other end, Mac still, it was strict, but not really. Like you still had the freedom to do it how you wanted to do it. Whereas like
Right.
NARS was very like, no, we don't sell foundation brushes. You have to use your fingers, or like, no, you have to wear your hair. I was back in a uniform. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It was like that. I remember I interviewed for NARS. Obviously I didn't get it. It didn't work out, but
Which one?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I just know I interviewed for one. I think maybe they were going to try to put me on as a freelancer or something like that. Did I go to train? I don't remember, but I do remember like finding out things like, oh, you must wear your hair in a low chignon, and like, and this
Racist
was
too, by
during
the
like
way.
my crazy like fucking sew-in phase. So I was like, what you mean?
Oh no, girl. I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying? Like, oh no, no hair colors, like, you know, like all those things. And that's when I was like, oh.
no, really though, it was kind of
Although
crazy.
Bare Minerals told me I had to have natural hair color too. Cause one day I was like, I want to dye my hair bright red. I think I'm gonna dye my hair bright red.
And
And
they said
the hair
no.
manager was like, I was just making like, you know, just like speaking. And she
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
you can't, she was like, oh, red, that'd be cute. I'm like, yeah, like Kool-Aid red, like ghetto red. She like, you can't do that. She was like, you can't do that. I was like, what the fuck you mean? She was like, it would have
Right.
to be like, she was like, you can't dye, we can only do natural hair colors here. I said, girl, it's redheads out here.
Yeah. And guess what?
You're right, but not
Orange.
Kool-Aid red. I was like, okay, so what? Like orange?
Right.
And she was like, your hair wouldn't be orange. And this goes back to her. She had the hater spirit. And I was like,
Yes. Spicy.
We'll
Because I
see
know a lot
about
of
that.
Blake Griffins out there, so stop.
I was just in a restaurant yesterday and my friend was like, look at this little ginger nigga. So
Okay.
please.
I see a lot of ginger beard niggas too. Like with brown, dark
all right,
brown.
Harlem.
I do though. But no, yeah. I mean, I think that I don't. You know what the problem is? I really don't know what the retail experience is now, especially post COVID. But I will
True.
say that, you know what I mean. So it sucks. Like I wish we lived closer because then we could do like a tour of like the retail
Not
experience.
investigative now. Were you trying to make me an investigative reporter now? Bitch?
What was that show
No.
when the boss would pretend to be the worker?
What was it? Angry boss, mean boss, fake boss, something boss,
Something boss. I want to do
hidden
stuff like
boss,
that.
secret
Hidden
boss.
Whatever.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Camouflage boss, whoever it was, the nigga blended in. Nobody knew.
Blend in boss. Yeah.
Literally blended boss.
Yeah.
But no, so it's hard to give advice now because especially now that there's so much with social media. Like I do feel like just like assisting is like rite of passage. I do always say like something about retail makeup is like rite of passage. Also, mostly just because you can get gratis. Like you're not getting PR yet, but you getting some shit for free.
That's true. You're
Like,
definitely getting some things for free. And well, again, we should have probably researched this. But like,
We could
you
come
know,
back
like
with
back
it.
in like my Estee time or whatever, we would get a certain amount, right? Like when I first got there, it was like, oh, you know, you might get a little something free. But then they had like made a little system where I can't remember how often you got a certain amount. And it was just like a personal website that we shopped on as a Estee Lauder employee.
Yes, same with NARS. So Shiseido. That was the first time I ever used Clé de Peau because of Shiseido. I was like,
I
nice.
just learned that Clé de Peau was owned by Shiseido when I went to a Clé de Peau event. And they said something and I was like, oh, this is like Korean skincare. And she was like Japanese. And I was like, ain't y'all French? And she was like, Shiseido owns us now. And I was like, oh, don't laugh because
that is lit. No,
there were several people around me. There were
Yes.
several people around me that were like, wait, this ain't French.
No, trust me.
All of our minds were blown.
No, trust me. I absolutely was surprised. In my mind, I just assumed they definitely bought this. I mean, Francois is French too, but but it's just funny to even hear that out loud because word, like, this is Clé de Peau.
Clé de Peau. I always thought this was French people. Joke was
No,
on
we.
me.
Okay.
No, we. Gotcha.
Did you ever? So I don't, just because I'm familiar with like Estee Lauder and Bare Minerals. Like, were there like sales goals? Like, because I know as a freelancer we didn't give a fuck, even though they try to give us a sales goal. What was the tea for you?
I'm like, yes, they tried to give me sales goals, but
She was like, I was at the
it
bar.
was
What are you talking
very
about?
clear. It should have been very clear to everybody there that, oh, this girl's just here to make money.
Yeah.
Like, she don't give a shit about nothing's going on. At one point when I first started at Estee Lauder, they would make freelancers. Every sale you got, you were supposed to keep a copy of the receipt, like get a copy of that receipt, and
Right.
then tally them all up on the sheet and staple them to the receipts and give them to the person, give them to like the person in charge before you left.
The HBS.
Yeah. And
You.
no, no,
No,
at Estee
just
Lauder, like the manager or whatever the
you
fuck.
know, I don't know. I'm just joking.
But yeah, pretty early on, I learned that just become
No one.
cool with the women that work at that counter, and they'll be like, Amber, here's your receipt.
That part.
Like if you made friends with the girls that worked at the counter, then they wanted you to come back because they were freelancers they fucked with and freelancers they did not fuck with. And well,
Absolutely.
if I was someone who didn't absolutely, and we all had goals, but we were getting paid an hourly, higher hourly rate as freelancers, and they were
Right.
working for a lower rate plus commission. So if you
Right.
were one of these overzealous freelancers coming up in there trying to get all the sales, you were actually fucking with their money
Yep.
because no matter what, you made the same amount an hour.
Yep.
So if you were trying to get all, all the big sales, then
And you could work as many hours as you wanted at another location. So
so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I peeped very early on that, like, they were those kind of girls, the counter girls will be like,
ugh, get this bitch out of here, overachieving ass.
whereas me, they knew that I didn't give a fuck. Like, I'm just here
Yep.
to get this hourly rate. If you're not good at makeup, hey, Amber, can you help me out with
Yep.
this? Because,
Yep.
I'm good at makeup. So, like, teamwork, you can finish out the sale and
Yep.
great. Now I'm not standing here doing nothing, shuffling concealers. I can actually, like,
Correct.
do makeup because this is a point in my life where all I wanted to do was makeup.
Makeup, yes. Well, so my first and only part time. Actually, I'm lying. Sephora, I guess I must have been part time or something there. But I was freelance for so long with Mac that when I got back to NARS, I chose part time because I was concerned that it was gonna fuck with my, whatever freelance shit. But that's when the goals really like mattered. Cause same, right? Like I would be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of this money. These sales. I'd be like, girl, if I had a big sale at Mac freelancing, I would give it to my friend.
Same.
Like,
Same.
I don't care. I don't care.
If I had any sale, I'd be like, you want to
Same.
ring this up?
Except for the back to Max. I'd be like, no. One of y'all bitches got to do this. I can't. I was tired of these bitches coming in with the recyclables. Take it to the landfill, baby. But like, whatever. So I say that's terrible of me, but like, goddamn. Anyway, what I was saying was, so at NARS is when they really started getting on me about like selling. And I was like, wait, I am not a salesperson. Like you start realizing how bad you are and shit like that. Like, I'm like, I will sit there and do makeup for 2 hours if you let me. And I done sold a pencil sharpener, bitch. And they used to get, so mad about them pencil sharpeners. They used to get, because it was $6, so it'd fuck your whole average up. Yo, niggas used to come in and ask for pencil sharpeners and we would all fly downstairs because we did not want to help the person with the pencil sharpener. We'd be like, no. I already took one pencil sharpener today. Nigga, you go get that sale. $6
already took the pencil sharpener. It's your turn.
It's your turn. Like, if you don't get a pencil sharpener, a lip liner, and a lipstick, bitch, get the fuck out the store. We don't got. We used to start telling people we didn't have them.
That I can't.
No, but they were because they were aggressive.
I think when I worked at Bare Minerals, well, I'm sure I was part time, so I'm sure I did have a sales goal. But again, since Estee Lauder, working at Estee Lauder, I truly learned that, like, yes, there are salespeople and there are artists. You are not a salesperson. Like, you actually can only sell something if you fuck with it.
Totally.
So also, if y'all release something I don't fuck with and you try to push me to push it,
yeah,
I'm not going to, probably, or I'm not going to do it right. Or people will be like, well, what do you think about this? And I'd be like, I mean, actually, it's cool, but like this one over here is better, even though you want me to push that. You know what I'm saying? But
OD. So
I'm pretty sure I did have sales goals at Bare Minerals, but I didn't care.
Yeah. Well, towards the end, I didn't care
because I was like, I'm a better artist than everyone in this whole store.
100%.
Outside of Lorraine, like, and my goal is not to climb up this ladder. My goal is not to become full
Totally.
time. I chose part time on purpose. Like,
Yep.
I'm just trying to get signed to an agency and get the fuck up out of here anyway, because
Absolutely.
I am a star and I'm supposed to be working with
I'm a fucking
stars.
star.
Okay. I'm not supposed to be in here at telling bitches
Yeah.
8 times that that's not their shade. That's
Right.
not.
I'm above shade matching. Stop it.
No,
No.
thank you. I don't want to make you a fucking sample. Okay.
Right. Oh my God. I hate
Oh,
it
but
though.
when I was brand repping at Sephora, I would be like, "Yes, you like a sample? What would you like a sample?" I was
Niggas
so
at the
bored.
ice cream shop.
I would also be there. Like, I would also leave out with like
Same. I'd had every
stacks of tiny
perfume
cups,
sample. Yep.
little
Yep.
tiny cups of everything, like doodly doo.
Yep. Oh, that was 100% what I used to do so far. You
Like
kidding?
what?
But you know what? So like I think that's the funny. I think that the friends that were artists, like you said, like that didn't give a fuck about the sales goals. Like we all became friends outside of work, and then the other girls they worked their way up in upper management, and that's fine. Is like whatever. But you know what does that? What is whack is like I know so many people now. Like we all work together, and this is life. I'm not like it's fine. But like just to put it out there, like we all worked together, we were all cool, shit was all love. But then now we're kind of all in the same playing field. And all of a sudden it's like competitive now. Like it's never like I have a few friends that I could talk shop with and I could be like, hey boo, like what you think about this? Like a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like not
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
that I feel looks at me like direct competition. But then again, you also never really know. But like I wish that's the only thing sometimes I wish that we could tighten up in the glam community is like we really don't have that. There just is no time or place to have that camaraderie. So we got to be a little easier on each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's not a direct threat. I feel like the second you, and I get it, right? Because the second you leave retail, there's no stability, there's no security. So bitch, you are a direct threat to my chicken. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. Sometimes I miss.
I mean, I think that just goes back to I think that goes back to the episode on loyalty, right? And when we
Yeah.
were discussing that ultimately there are so many other entities to once you become a freelancer, like once you're out here working with celebrities and working with brands, there's so many other entities and so many other factors that result in you getting called back. That is
Yeah.
unfortunately it makes us look at each other like we're crazy when we aren't the
Absolutely.
ones that are doing it. It's them.
For
But
sure.
unfortunately, it'd be like, and
Niggas
you
got to
know what
be
I'm saying?
collateral damage.
Some
Yeah.
people are fucking very competitive. So if I worked with you at Mac and we was at the same store and I thought I was a little better than you anyway, then the fuck out of here.
I feel
or
that. That's true.
or from vice versa. If I
Yeah.
thought you were that girl at Mac and now I'm like, bitch, we getting the same jobs. What's good?
That's fair. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Then, it could be like, shit could get tricky or whatever.
But I think like,
I'm
no,
still
shit
over
can
here
get
like,
tricky.
wow, I really don't.
Nah, but you know
Nobody
what?
from retail.
No, but you want to know what the reason why I get upset? You like, bitch, I'm above all these bitches. You know what I will say about that though is like, the competition is one thing, the artistry is one thing. I mean to say, but like niggas be stingy about what products they use. Like, bitch, like,
Well, now that is like, please,
that's what I mean. Like,
please.
if we at
But
the
you know what
same,
I'm saying? Listen,
yeah, no, I feel you.
I heard there's YouTubers and content creators out here that won't tell people what lights they use. So
Okay, that's right. You're right. That's fair. That's fair. I just
if
feel
you
like
nervous,
makeup.
you just nervous.
You just nervous.
Just nervous, I guess.
Just nervous. Say you nervous, bitch. Like
If
you
you
think of a
nervous,
massage,
right?
that
You
cream in a little.
nervous? Damn.
I think y'all are nervous.
The
But
anxiety.
I don't even know how to give advice to the girls that are
I
just
don't either.
starting.
Just starting in general.
Not-
Well,
Yeah, I feel like this
we
is-
don't know. I don't know what the retail space does, right? I know. I feel like I know for in my brain, people aren't. They don't go. Well, once I moved to LA, I was like, wow, niggas really still be going to malls.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I had a
don't-
bitch tell
but-
me she was about to get her makeup done at Sephora, not to cut you off. I was like, they still do that?
Well, yeah, Sephora got their little studio in the middle with the little menu. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
have like that area that's reserved. And you got to book an appointment to be there.
Right.
So that kind of checks out. Like that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know as far as like retail, as far as counters and things like that, right? It's
Yeah.
giving that the retail girls nowadays. I think one of my assistants started at Sephora also. And he is a fucking artist. That little nigga's Pat Baby McGrath. Like, but he is
Right. Also, there
he
are way
started at
better brands at
Sephora.
Sephora now than maybe when we were there. Like they got
There were
they got low end brands like ColourPop, like things
Pat was
they
there
have
when I was there.
ColourPop.
Pat.
Oh, Pat, really? No,
I think
Pat's
so. I
that
think she
been
had
there,
just
been out that
left.
long?
I think she had just launched. Pat's been out since definitely since I was in New York.
Oh, well, I left Sephora probably by then anyway. So I was either at NARS or at Chanel
Yeah,
or
you might
something.
have. Because
Damn,
that was my last retail job.
right, right, right,
Was
right,
Sephora. So yeah,
right.
yeah. I think it was like the very beginning when all of her stuff came with sequins.
But I think that Sephora is, I guess you're right. That is a good, that is, for me, that is good advice because I think that Sephora, you know, if you're already an artist and now you have the leg up with social media and whatever, you can practice on people with all the brands. Whereas I feel like the Mac clique was a snobby clique, but also we only knew Mac.
You only knew Mac. Yeah, I'm like, you only knew Mac because the moment I tell a girl who's ever worked at Mac, like once you get to, we start talking makeup and y'all get to like, oh yeah, NC or even like on set, right? Because on set, a girl will be like, oh, could you hand me this? When I came to LA and I would be assistant Sir John, he'd be like, because he speaks Mac obviously
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's OG Mac. And he
Yep.
would be like, babe, could you hand me? No, I think we should go a little cooler, like an NC. And I'd be like, what are you saying? Do you know the shade number you want me to get, or like, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like his assistant, his regular assistant Bridget, she would be like, oh, here you go, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, glad she
No
was
clue.
here because no clue. What the fuck does that mean? Like,
Like,
you know,
you have a legend that I can read to
a little
decipher this?
glossary because I don't speak Mac, and I have to tell the makeup girlies all the time I don't speak Mac,
I feel like
especially in this level that we're at because most of y'all came from Mac. At the level
Totally.
that we are at, most of us did a Mac stint. People
can
are
I just
shocked
say-
that I never worked at Mac.
No. I agree with you because you're right. They do something, even if it's like I worked there for a week and quit. Even Amra, she worked there for like a 2-3 months. She worked there for like a short period of time. She's like, y'all niggas, I gotta go. I think she went to Vegas for like she was really get her social media shit was about to pop off, and they asked her to come to work, and she had to either go to work or go to Vegas. She was like, fuck y'all. I'm out.
Listen, that's how I ended up leaving Bare Minerals. Was I had got a call to assist. I got a call to assist on a shoot for Vogue, and I was like thrilled, like what? And my hating ass manager, and I was on the schedule. And my hating ass manager, I was like, I need to like switch it, whatever. And she was like, even if you switch with someone else, like that's technically gonna be your third time calling out. There was a strict three times you're out rule at Bare Minerals. It was like if you called out, if
What is this,
you
baseball? Like,
dead ass, if you called out or if you were tardy 3 times,
oh, I would have got fired a long time
you would
ago.
get fired. And I was always late anyway. So I was like, and I remember like, you know, oh, I let you slide a few times, but you were late today. And like maybe the regional manager or somebody like that was there. And so I was on 2 strikes. And it was like, if you don't come to work on this day, then you're fired. And I was like, so I'm going to put in my 1 week notice.
2 steps ahead
And she
of you,
was
my
like,
girl.
wait, what? And I was like, yeah, you think I'm gonna turn down Vogue, even assisting,
Yeah.
bitch? You already know that I'm not. You already know I'm not here
what
for
you-
that.
Right.
I'm here for that. I'm here for Vogue, girl.
Yeah.
So bye. I'll figure it out from there. Fuck. Universe got me. I was stressed. But anyway, figured it out. We figured it out. We here. We made it.
We made it. We made it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why. But that's why that ended because I was like, no. Also, granted, it was like way back when. Every time I think about that, I'd be like, and I know I was part time, but I'm like, I was bringing home $600 every 2 weeks. It's $300 a week. How's that legal?
How was I? Yeah. Like, how is that legal in like an actual big ass corporation too? Like, not even just like
Like what? That's crazy.
like I wasn't even selling fit tea. Like what?
Like what? No, like stupid.
No,
Just
pretty
dumb.
bad. That's pretty bad. No, I don't even know how I used to live by myself. I definitely live by myself on this NAR salary. I mean, I guess I did also freelance, but I don't think
Same.
at the time, obviously it wasn't my bread and butter. Like I was relying
Right.
at least on this base money, and then what else extra came extra. But yeah, no, I definitely, I'm trying to remember why I quit NARS. It was such a blur at that time for me because I definitely was like, same, like you, I was like, y'all got me fucked up. Like I think towards the end, like niggas wouldn't give me like $1 raise, like something silly. And I was like, and I remember feeling like, bitch, I do makeup better than everybody in here. I got all the clients come for me. They all check for me. And I
For
take sharpener
me,
sales, nigga. Like, give me my
and I
dollar.
take sharpener
Give me my fucking
sales.
dollar.
Well, I'll
And they
never
were
forget. I was heated working at Estee Lauder. I think this was towards the end, the first end, because
first then.
I ended a few times with Estee Lauder. The first end was when I found out that this girl who was probably she had started working after me. I had probably already been there like a year. This white girl, that was probably like 3, 4 years younger than me. So she was probably like 21, 22 at the time. She had just started working, bro. They had this bitch in all of the fucking top stores that we had to work our way up to. She
Oh
was in those
no.
stores, like she was in those stores, and I either found out or I saw somewhere that she was making like $5 more than me. Like I was making like
Oh,
$20 an
bitch.
hour. She was making like 25, 26. And I was like, and you
Oh,
could tell that they were
hell
trying to
no.
groom her for management. But like it was giving that she probably I don't even remember what she I don't all I remember is that I don't remember her name or nothing. She probably literally is probably like in management at this point. She should
Oh,
be.
she,
They
what?
definitely took her up under their wing and was like, and
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm a master. Are you crazy? Like I'm like a makeup
Yeah.
master over here.
No,
Like
literally. Yeah.
I do makeup better than all these people in here.
With
I'm
these
not a
shit products.
salesperson,
Right.
but I'm selling the fuck out of these products because I'm a good makeup artist.
Exactly. And that was what my complaint was. I'm like, niggas is in here asking for me though. like,
They're looking for me.
like they
They're
checking for
picking
me.
their products off of my face. They're like, what do you have
Oh,
on?
same. Yeah. What is this on your skin?
Can you
Meanwhile, I'm
show
like
me
that.
how you did what you did?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I had young bitches rocking old ass Estee Lauder before they did the push. For the girlies to start rocking Estee Lauder. You know what I'm saying? Like before that push, I had girls like, Estee Lauder coming like that? I was like, they coming like that. They got stuff for everybody. And again, because their shade range was way more vast than a whole
Totally.
lot of brands. Like, so all that to say, I mean, I do think that if you're an artist now, to get some type of on the scene on the spot training that you are not like technically really held that responsible for, I still suggest that you could try retail. Like you could make the most out of a Sephora experience. I don't really know what Ulta gives because I honestly just started going to Ulta
Oh,
recently because
forgot about
y'all
Ulta.
don't have Ulta. It's like one, right? It's like one
Yeah, we got one big ass one.
yeah. I'm like it's one,
Like
but
right next door to a Sephora.
80 something, no? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm like, it's only the one. So really, yeah, I think that's maybe why I just got into Ulta like recently.
Yeah.
And they're more like, I don't know. I
But I
mean,
do
they got
agree.
their salon, but yeah.
I have no idea. I've never stepped foot in an Ulta. But what I will say is just to piggyback off of what you're saying, that's an excellent point. Like assisting is the next level of being held accountable, although you're still not the number one person responsible if something goes wrong. But when you're at a counter, like if you can kind of play and then be like, I mean, okay, I messed up some girl's birthday. Who gives a fuck? It's no, I mean, I know that's awful to say, but it's kind of
But
like
it's not,
try. You have to.
yeah.
Yes.
You're not fucking up somebody going on a red carpet that's gonna,
Those pictures gonna last forever on the internet. Like,
and they're gonna trash you.
yeah, and niggas gonna drag you. So
Yeah.
ruin the bar mitzvahs. Like ruin those.
Ruin the vomit.
I'm saying take those
Yeah.
times as opportunities to take risks or try different products, especially if you're at a Sephora where you can literally you have the ability to force yourself to use a product that you might not buy. Like,
Or that you can't even like, or that you can't afford because
or
shit is
that you can't afford.
pricey.
Great point.
Yeah, and just like it's a good way for you to figure out. You know, you see people on the internet talking about shade ranges and undertones and all that stuff. Honestly, if somebody asked me what their undertone is, I'd be like, girl, I don't know.
Right.
I fake it. I absolutely don't know. But because of working in retail, at this point, I can look at a product and be like, okay, like, oh, this is your shade. Girl, I don't know why it's your shade, but it matches you perfectly. Okay.
Well, also that, and also because I think retail, they give you these like what they consider like textbook right and wrong answers on how to do certain things. And that's for them to make sales. So when someone says this palette is got XYZ steps, and if you follow XYZ steps, you'll achieve that. That's not true. That is so that you buy XYZ
Yeah,
products. Like
absolutely.
you can do whatever it is that you want. And I agree with you that if you have a golden chest and it looks like your face is warmer, redder, then I still can't really tell you your undertone, because in my mind as an artist, just like in your mind, you're like, I need this to look consistent. So I might match your face, and then it is still, if your body's showing, that's still not even an accurate thing to tell you, because so we looking at it very different. Like for us, it's a global, it's what's going to make the whole look come together. Now, if you're wearing a turtleneck, okay, well, maybe we could.
You can be whatever color you like.
You can be whatever color you want. We can bronze you down, baby.
Yeah.
We can contour you down.
But it gives you just like a little more time and space to play around and to figure out things. Also, to figure out your aesthetic, to figure out your vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of yourself, because doing things on yourself is one thing, but if you're a makeup artist, if you're an artist, doing them on someone else is the actual difference. Like I was able to beat my shit down before I was able to beat somebody else's shit down. And that was even like after makeup school, like after retail, like it would still look better on me, whatever I did, than what I did on somebody else. Even when I do my own makeup now, like I oddly don't necessarily use the same techniques, tips, tricks. Like I don't really do the same thing.
I hate doing my makeup out of my makeup kit. Isn't that crazy? I hate it.
Oh, I can't, because I'm like, wait, what? Like I need my stuff.
Same.
I need Amber stuff. But
same.
Yeah.
And this is also, and one last thing, this is the last reason why I would say this is a great, because one thing, you're going to always do it on yourself and but this is the only time, other than assisting someone, that you can kind of peek over someone's shoulder and see how they do it, and kind of literally learn by the different faces around you and what they might gravitate towards. Oh girl, no, I got to use this type of powder because like you have this chance to not just learn from your own facial features and clients, but people that are as equipped as you are artistry wise and artistry level.
And genuinely. Like
exactly.
People like genuinely giving you advice, as opposed to now in the time that we're in now. Like, of course, we have beauty influencers and content and people on the internet that can give you these tips and tricks. But realistically, outside of me and Brittany, you don't know if they're selling you things because they're being paid to sell you things, or if it's something that they genuinely fuck with. So that is just another opportunity for you to actually like try things and touch formulas and like all those things, and build relationships with brands from the corporate levels. Like I know artists that definitely built some relationships, you know what I'm saying? Or became cool with someone, or someone that they were working with is now on the management side and they're on the, you know what I'm saying, like freelance artist side. And now this management person has gotten this person a deal. Like
totally.
So it still all works out. All that to say.
It always works out. Yeah. It always works out.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we could put a bow on it.
Tie that shit up. I am Amber.
I'm B, Brittany.
And this is the A and B conversation. So see your way up out of here.